Dream Team, it's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with how Australia made me a better man. Before we dive in, make sure you guys subscribe, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. What we got? Australia.
In this video, I'd like to talk about how traveling Australia for a year has changed my attitude and me as a person in general. See, I wasn't in my early 20s. I didn't just graduate school and decided to go overseas to embrace the spirit of my youth as most backpackers in Australia. I was already 29 and I had a pretty good career as a police officer. Damn right you heard, I was a copper. For nearly 10 years I had served before I decided to resign. I lived in my own flat, I drove a brand new car and I was just paying back the loan the bank gave me for it. And the next logical step would have been to get a girl pregnant and start a family. But that just didn't feel right. I wasn't happy with how my life went. So I gave up on everything. I left my flat, I sold the car, cancelled all the life insurances and whatever insurances that I had, and said goodbye. On a work and holiday visa, I flew to Sydney.
I just want to say, I absolutely love that, dog. I love when somebody just, like, is in their life and they're just like, something ain't right. And they make that change. You know what I'm saying? They decide, hey, I'm going to sell everything. I'm going to go out to Australia on a working visa holiday. Like, that's so dope because I feel like it tastes like bravery, dog, to just, like, everything that you've done up to that point in life when you're just like, nah, this isn't going how I envisioned. I got the car. Next thing I'm supposed to do, get a woman, have a baby, start a family. You know what I'm saying? I'm following the list, and it's like, hold up. This ain't the list for my life. This don't feel right to me. This don't sit right in my spirit. This not the life that I want. So my guy said, freak all of this, going out to Australia. Love it, man.
Journey with my now ex-girlfriend. Just wanted to mention that once. We had just enough money to buy a car for about $2,500, and then we worked and traveled our way along the East Coast. What impact this trip has had on me, I'd like to tell you now.
Talk to me, man.
I met so many incredibly kind people in Australia. People that helped me through tough times. And there were so many situations, it would be too much for one video to mention that all. And another video I talked about the caravan park owner that couldn't bear to see us sleeping in the rooftop tent when it was pouring rain for a couple of days. And she invited us to stay in her caravan for a few days. And yeah, we just stayed there free of charge. In Tasmania, we had the worst time you could possibly have. We didn't have any money at all. We didn't know how to afford the ferry back to the mainland. And we were just having a very, very rough time in Tasmania. But it was my girlfriend's birthday and I wanted to do something for it. So I invited her. I took her out to a Thai restaurant. I mean, I couldn't afford it, but I wanted to do something for her birthday, right? We must have looked pretty depressed. There was one guy sitting next to us on his table. He was in his 50s maybe. When he finished his meal, we hadn't ordered yet. He stood up and he came over to our table and he put his hand down on our table, and I was looking up to him. I didn't really know what was he up to. And then he said, "Your dinner is paid for," or something like that. Then he lifted his hand and he left a $100 bill.
Wow.
And then he went away. I couldn't really say anything. I was just looking after him and he went out the door and we were, looking around searching for the hidden camera.
That's what we call mateship right there. That's what they call mateship. That's beautiful, bro. And I know this happens in America as well. And it happens all over the world where people just general acts of kindness, and that's such an amazing thing. But we focused on Australia right now. You got, know what I'm saying, out in the pouring rain, stuck in this tent. Woman said, I can't bear to see you guys sleeping in this tent. Y'all come in my caravan. It's pouring rain for a couple days, free of charge. Get out of the rain. Incredible. Having a terrible time in Tasmania. No money. His girlfriend's birthday. Like, that's so frustrating. Like, just when it's your partner's birthday and to like be broke, to not be able to do anything special for him. That goes to this Thai restaurant, doesn't know how he's gonna pay this bill, doesn't have money to pay the bill. Man just drops a 100, says your dinner's paid for, don't worry about it. That's beautiful. That's mateship. I absolutely love that. Australia, I'm telling y'all are just a phenomenal people.
I'm not saying that this is a everyday thing to happen in Australia, but still. And as I said, there were many more situations. What I want to say is, this experience in Australia has changed me towards a direction of where I want to be more aware of people in need. So this
love that
is something that I want to bring to Germany. There are also kind people in Germany, but I think not quite to the same extent as I have experienced that in Australia. And I want to be the guy, and Australia has made me the guy, I hope. Social interaction.
Love it.
In Australia, people like to talk to each other. Not so much in Germany, though. When you talk to a stranger, then most likely because you want something. Rarely just for the sake of the conversation.
I can understand that.
You don't talk to the cashier at the checkout. You say hello and goodbye. That's it. I loved how you could just talk to anyone about anything in Australia, and it was never weird. It was never awkward. I met so many interesting people, and I listened to so many interesting stories because in Australia, people just came to me and just started a conversation just for a chat. That's all they wanted. And it was great how many people I met. It was great to listen to that many stories. I exchanged so many phone numbers. I have so many people in Australia that I can call right now. Like, within the last year, I have met many more people and made many more friends in Australia over the last year than I have made the last 10 years in Germany. It was a bit hard to get used to.
Yeah.
Just having a random conversation with just anyone. But now I love it. And I don't want that to go away. So let's see how it works out. But when I go back to Germany, I want to talk to people more. I want to talk to the cashier. I want to talk to just anyone. It's going to be weird. And
I swear it's just... And I'm more of an introvert. So when I'm out and about, I don't usually like initiate conversations or anything. But it is nice when you're talking to the cashier and like you're asking each other questions and like you're having a conversation and you're smiling. It is nice like when people like start a conversation. Not always, but it is really nice to like see people genuinely smile and genuinely having a good day and seeing their smile and their positive energy. It just kind of radiates off of them and it kind of picks you up sometimes. And so it is nice to genuinely get in a small talk with a stranger and just talk to people and spread that happiness, spread that positivity, spread that kindness. And I love the fact that he's made so many friends that he can just call up right now in Australia, where he's 10 years. He's made more friends in 1 year in Australia than 10 years in Germany, because it seems to be that people are more open to talking to strangers in Australia. I guess in Germany, it feels like people don't really talk to you unless they want something from you, and that's a sucky thing. But I love this. I absolutely love this.
I will receive a lot of weird looks, and people will think that I try to sell them something. But yeah,
I do hate when people start conversations on the basis of trying to sell you something. I do. That is annoying.
I will still go for it, and hope that I can make more friends, I think. Distance. This is probably the most obvious one, but my perception of distances has completely changed ever since I have been traveling Australia. In Australia, you drive for a long, long time, especially when you're a traveler and you spend your whole time in the car anyways. And that really has changed me. In Germany, when you drive for 2 hours, that's at least an overnight stay. You wouldn't drive 2 hours out and 2 hours back on one day. Too far. Now that I have spent so many kilometers on Australian roads, I feel like driving has become second nature to me. I feel like now I can go to Italy to eat a pizza and go back home. Italy is about a 3-hour drive to where I live. Also, my dad, he lives about 3.5 hours away, and sometimes I would see him once every 6 months. Not because we're having a bad relationship, but 3.5 hours is just too far away. Now I feel like I can visit him once every 2 weeks. Not considering the fuel prices, which are considerably higher in Germany than they are in Australia. So, yeah, subscribe if you want me to see my dad more. And also leave.
Subscribe if you want me to see my dad more. I feel you, bro. I'm subbing. I'm subbing because I want you to see your dad more. Like, that's a worthy reason to subscribe.
I like, because the button gets all shiny and colorful and whatnot. Live now. I was always very worried about my future, about if I would have enough money when I'm old.
Yeah.
So I dedicated myself to work, retirement insurances and whatnot. And now that I'm nearly 31 years old, I thought I would have figured out everything by now. I should have a plan for my life. I should be successful in whatever I'm doing. And at the beginning of my journey, I had the doubt if I was making the right decision or if I was spoiling my future. By the way, I hope you do not hear that rain too much, which is coming down on my car. In Germany, it feels like it's all about what car you drive, how big your house is, and just to be successful in life by having a lot of money. And this is always how I put myself in a certain scale of, okay, he's that successful and I'm just so much successful. But then traveling Australia, working in Australia, I met so many people that have changed my mindset completely. Australians as well as other foreign travelers that were heaps older than myself, and they still hadn't figured it out. They were just embracing the moment. They were living their lives. Anyways, that has made me come to the...
Yes, and yes, with a double helping of yes. I love that he pointed that out because I feel like it's the same here in America, where it's like your success is compared to kind of like what kind of car you have, or like how big your house is. Do you have a house, or know what's going on? You feel me? And you get so stressed and worried about your future, because this has been me, I feel like, most of my life, that you forget to live in the moment. Like, a lot of my life I've lived, but I've lived this fear of spending money because I wanted to save as much as possible, like for rainy days that may never even come, for things that I'm like could happen. And so like I didn't really do anything. I'd work, I'd chill at home, I just watch TV all day. Like when friends wanted to go take a trip or something, I'm like, how much? My brain automatically, before I think of how fun the trip could be, how much is the plane ticket? How much is the hotel gonna cost? How much am I gonna have to pay for food out there? How much? Money. My brain, instead of thinking of an experience, instead of thinking of fun, instead of thinking of living in the moment, my brain just automatically went to money. It's not that I didn't have enough to go. Like, I've saved enough to go on trips, but I didn't want to see the bank account drop any lower than what it was at. I wanted to keep building. And so that's one thing that I think I've really struggled with. And I think getting in a relationship with my girlfriend, I feel like she's really helped me see that know what I'm saying? Like, more live in the now, more go out. Let's go out. Let's do something. Let's have fun. Now I'm still not fully over it, because I still worry. Just wanted to make sure there's, in case anything goes wrong, there's money in the bank. We don't have to stress about that. But I feel like I'm only 28, but I feel like I have missed out on fun experiences in life due to being so stressed about the future and so stressed about money. So I completely understand where he's coming from, and I feel like I do want to be a person that does have a plan for the future, but that doesn't forget to live in the moment. In light, I like how he said, you 31, thought you'd figure life out by now. Definitely thought I'd be further along in life, I guess, or figure things out, but it's like, You're never truly gonna figure life out, because when you solve one problem, you create another. There's always gonna be things you have to figure out in life. So I don't think you'll ever truly figure life out. So just enjoy the time, enjoy the moment you're in, enjoy the problems that you have. Don't pray for no problems. Pray for good problems. Talk to me.
The realization that I will always be so proud of what I am doing at the moment. I am much rather poor when I'm 75, live in a crappy flat, but be rich in experience and memories than having a lot of money. And that is something that Australia has taught me. To just be grateful for what you have, to be healthy, to live in the moment, to embrace your life, rather than trying to chase a certain perfection that society is trying to tell you that this is what you have to be in order to be successful, because that's just not how it is. And I'm very thankful 100%. That I have come to that realization. When I'm 75, I might say, Johnny, why didn't you prepare for your retirement? But what I would be really interested in is what your thoughts are. Please let me know in the comments what you think on that topic. I'd really like to know what you think about it. Hard work. When I was still working as a copper, and I would tell my friends or whoever that I'm going to work, many people would say, you're not working. You just drive around in your car all day, or you sit in front of your desk. That's not real work. And to some extent, that was true. You could have a pretty comfortable life as an officer if you wanted. Of course, there were certain situations where you just had to be, effective and, But the worst thing about it was that the more people told me that I didn't have a real job, I started to believe it. I thought, man, this is all I can do. I will never be able to do a physical 9-to-5 job. Work, actual work, and then go back home. But in Australia, I tell you, I worked like a bull. I was picking fruit. I worked as a stable hand. I was a waiter. I was a housekeeper, and many more things. And this has shown me that I can do a lot of stuff. I'm more than capable of doing hard work.
Yeah.
And I was very surprised of myself that I could not only keep up with everyone else, but I was good. I was doing a pretty good job at whatever I was doing. This had brought me to the realization that I was always limiting myself because of self-doubt. I always told myself that I couldn't do this or I couldn't do that. But traveling Australia and doing all of those jobs, all of those shitty jobs that would make my hands bleed, that would make me...
See, I love this because I can understand where he's coming from. Like, when I started doing YouTube, it's like, a lot of people around didn't see it as a real job. And it's like, no, like, I legit work hard, like, every single day. I'm legit recording videos. I make like 16 to 18 videos daily. I record videos for about 5 hours a day, and then I do the descriptions and all of that for another couple hours. Like, I legit do still work 8 hours a day, but it's just the work I would choose over any other job that I've had. I've had where I had to do hard physical labor. Had jobs where I sat behind a desk. I've had lots of different jobs, and this by far is the funnest. It's the coolest, but at the end of the day, it is still work. There are still days where I come in here and I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. I don't want to record. Like, I don't have the energy. I'm not feeling my normal positivity. I'm tired. I'm drained. And now I got to sit in front of this camera and make all these videos today. And y'all might see some days where I just repost videos just because. And if you see reposts, it's just... I just don't have it, or I just need a day off or something. I'm not feeling it. I'm not locked in. I'm not zoned in, and I just can't hype myself up that day. I just need to take a mental day, I guess is what it's called. So if you see reposts, it's not, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I know a lot of people don't like them, but it's just because, like, hey, I needed a day, but I also can't afford to miss a day of making money because, like, this is my only source of income, and it's have to make money. So I completely understand where he's coming from. I would say don't let, like, society, like, or let people around you teach you to doubt yourself, or don't let them tell you that's all you can do, or that your job is not a real job. Do it at the end of the day. Do what you like doing. It's your life. Know what I'm saying? You end up listening to them and you take what they call a real job and you're so unhappy with that job, and it's because you wanted to prove a point to them. Like, now forget that, dog. Forget that. I feel like all jobs are hard work. So choose the hard work that you want. That's going to make you happiest. This is hard work. Like, this is mentally, like, draining some days. But like, it's cool. It makes me happy. It's way better than any job I've ever had in the past. So if I can do it forever, I want to. If not, I guess I'll find something else to do. I don't know.
Fall into my bed dead after work. It made me realize I could do all of that stuff, and I'm good at it. There's no need for self-doubt, and that I could become anything, that I could do anything that I wanted. And the only person that could really keep me from becoming what I want, or from doing what I want, is myself. And there is no need from holding myself back, because I am capable of doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you are,
And
man.
for that realization, I will always be very, very thankful.
Love that.
Of course, a trip like that shapes your personality, and it has changed me in many ways. But I think these are the key things that I wanted to talk about. And I'm really looking forward to reading about your thoughts in the comments. As always, stay healthy, be happy, and see you next time. Bye.
I love that video, man. He's such an awesome dude that I can relate to so much. But that's all we got for this one. Make sure y'all subscribe, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up. It's your boy D Neal. Out.